Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are strapping in for a shortcut right into the future of spatial computing.
And we're doing that by looking at Apple's most recent intellectual property filings.
Exactly. For a long time, the whole conversation around VR has been about these bulky goggles and isolated sessions. But what if the future Apple is building moves past that completely?
That's really the core question for this deep dive. What if Apple's next generation of headsets were, more like a genuine pair of glasses? Discreet, comfortable, always on.
Right. And that's the pivot our mission is focused on today. Phase one was the Vision Pro, this incredible high-end spatial computer. But it was for immersive, sometimes pretty isolated experiences.
And the 2025 patents we've been digging into, they signal a definitive move to what you could call phase two.
Which is transforming that tech into a flexible platform for everyday spatial computing.
And you can actually track that ambition just by looking at their patent strategy. The activity around Vision Pro tech is, it's escalating dramatically.
Not so.
Well, 2023 saw about 85 related patents. But the 2025 filings are different. It's not just the volume, it's the specificity. They're focusing so intensely on utility patents.
Okay, so for listeners who don't follow patent law super closely, what makes a utility patent so important here? Why is that surge such a canary in the coal mine?
That distinction is everything. A design patent, that just protects how something looks, the aesthetic.
The shape, the feel.
Exactly. It's R&D focused on presentation. A utility patent, on the other hand, protects how the device actually works, the functional mechanism.
So it's about application engineering solutions.
Precisely. And a high volume of those in a short time suggests the foundational R&D is done. The company is now just rapidly locking down the functional details they need for manufacturing. We're looking at product intention, not just a concept.
That sets the stage perfectly. Okay, let's unpack this. If the goal is everyday computing, the biggest barrier isn't power or software. It's just comfort. Nobody's going to wear stiff goggles for 8 hours. And these patents, they show Apple is treating this comfort problem as priority zero.
They have to. The second you target all-day use, the form factor is everything. And the most telling changes in these 2025 filings are all about the hardware needed to make the device basically disappear on your face.
What are we talking about specifically?
We're seeing multiple patents on redesigning headbands, head straps, all the securing mechanisms. They're all geared specifically for long-term comfort and a much better fit. The language really suggests a move away from, these fixed heavy boxes.
So it's something more like spectacles.
Yes, exactly.
So this is about genuine wearability, not just a fixed product. The filings also get into some serious advancements in modular designs.
Things like easily removable coverings, different light seals, and very adjustable head mounts.
It's making the device less of a single expensive piece of equipment and more of a custom, personalized thing.
And that modularity is the key operational change. If you look at the materials they're specifying, they hint at lighter, maybe even softer composite materials for the parts that actually touch your face.
That all points to all-day use, moving it beyond just watching a movie or playing a game.
It signals they want the hardware integrated into your life, not isolated from it.
Okay, but let's inject a real engineering challenge here.
Okay.
If you make it lighter, more comfortable, like actual spectacles, where does all the heat go? Where does the battery life come from? The current Vision Pro is a powerful computer.
That is a fantastic point.
How do these comfort patents deal with the power trade-offs you need for 8+ hours of use?
The patents address it, but indirectly. It's through distribution. That focus on modularity could mean the main processor is physically separated from the display.
So like in a neckband or a puck in your pocket.
That's a possibility for a Pro device for sure. But the more immediate solution hinted at in the patents is distributed computing.
Meaning the headset itself doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting.
Exactly. It offloads tasks. Things like location tracking, basic biometric sensing, maybe even some gesture interpretation. It pushes that to other devices. Specifically the Apple Watch.
Ah, okay.
By distributing that data load, the headset can just focus its power on rendering the spatial environment. That lets them shrink the size, reduce the heat, and nail the comfort. It all aligns with that spectacle's goal.
It's a very smart way to solve the thermal problem.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. So if comfort is solved, the next hurdle is interaction.
Right.
And the patents suggest some radical new ways to use digital space. The one that really stood out to me was something they're calling virtual paper.
The virtual paper system is It's probably the most transformative patent we analyzed. It's such a huge conceptual leap.
Beyond what we have now.
Oh, absolutely. Right now, when you interact with a document in AR, you're usually just grabbing a flat 2D screen and moving it around. It still feels like a monitor that's just floating.
So with virtual paper, what are we actually doing? Give me a concrete example.
Okay, so you're manipulating digital material notes, documents, maybe 3D models, not just as flat overlays, but as items that understand physical manipulation.
So you can fold it.
You can grip it, fold it to see what's underneath, curl the corner to bookmark it, or even crumple it up and toss it away.
Wow, okay. So if I'm researching something complex, instead of having 20 floating windows, I could physically organize digital notes on my desk.
Yes.
I could fold the secondary sources and pin the main ones right in front. It moves spatial computing from just a viewing medium to a creation and organization medium.
Precisely. And this type of tactile interface, it unlocks genuine spatial productivity. It frees your content from that rigid flat screen box, and crucially, it creates UI consistency.
How so?
Whether you're on a high-end Vision Pro or some future smart glasses, the physical act of folding a document will feel the same. The digital world respects the physics of your actual environment.
That is a powerful idea. And that kind of interaction needs really fast, intuitive inputs. Which brings us back to the ecosystem, specifically the patents on how the Vision Pro and the Apple Watch will communicate.
This integration is sort of the silent hero of the whole platform. We found 3 main use cases in the patents.
What are they?
First, using the watch's precision location data. It's way more accurate than what the headset can get on its own, so it grounds the virtual environment perfectly. Second, biometric feedback.
Using your heart rate or stress levels.
Exactly. Your heart rate goes up, maybe the environment automatically dims or shifts to something calming. It's context-aware computing based on your body's state.
That's fascinating. And the third use case?
Using the watch itself as a sophisticated input device. Imagine your non-dominant hand, the one with the watch, becomes a primary controller for things like magnification or scrolling, while your dominant hand is free for precision gestures.
So it basically turns the watch into an extension of the spatial controller.
Right. But with all that rich biometric data baked in, it means the headset doesn't have to constantly hunt for and recognize both your hands, which makes interactions smoother and less demanding on the battery.
It all ties back to solving that wearability problem. Maximizing function while minimizing the burden on the device itself.
Exactly.
So if we're talking about all-day computing, we have to talk about collaboration. So much of VR right now is, frankly, isolating. The sources show a move to make these spaces truly social.
And that brings us to the patent on holographic video sessions. This is a huge indicator that Apple wants to eliminate that isolation factor.
Okay, but when I hear holographic, my mind goes straight to Star Wars. In an Apple context, what does this actually mean? Is it just a much better version of the current personas, a fancy avatar? Or is it actual volumetric capture?
The patents push way past the current persona concept. The goal described is volumetric capture.
Meaning capturing the user in 3 dimensions.
And rendering them live into a shared space. The patent describes users joining a conference where they appear as a fully 3D, spatially grounded version of themselves. Real 3D video calls in a shared 3D room.
That's a huge distinction. Because if it's volumetric, then the physical act of you turning your head or pointing at something, it translates accurately in 3D to everyone else.
Right. It improves nonverbal communication massively. And that is the key to bringing professional work use cases into this world. It enables what you could genuinely call real meetings, where body language matters.
Instead of just being a flat video feed.
Exactly. But what's really fascinating is the sheer processing power that requires, think about 4 or 5 people being simultaneously captured, compressed, transmitted, and rendered in real time.
Which means the underlying Vision OS platform has to be incredibly robust. It has to handle all that, even if one person is on a high-end Vision Pro and someone else is on a future lighter pair of glasses.
That is the core technical challenge these filings are trying to solve. It proves the platform is evolving for collaborative group use. The focus is shifting from solo work to shared environment building.
So let's tie all this together. The comfort, the virtual paper, the holographic collaboration. What does this massive wave of utility patents really mean for the user?
Well, the sources emphasize this isn't about just one new Vision Pro device next year.
Right.
And this is the strategic revelation of this whole deep dive. If you look closely, many of these new patents aren't just for a new Vision Pro model. They're described as applying to a whole future product range.
Like smart glasses or lighter headsets.
Yes, mixed reality spectacles. They're clearly preparing to release a range of products for different needs, different price points.
So the Vision Pro, the current high-end device,
Yeah.
it stops being the one and only gadget and becomes the foundational base of an entire ecosystem,
Absolutely. A tiered strategy.
like the iPhone, iPad, and Mac.
Exactly. You need different hardware for different uses. The high-end Vision Pro will still be the powerhouse for professionals, but these new patents suggest Apple is preparing, say, a standard tier Vision headset, and then maybe a lighter prescription-ready Apple Glasses tier.
And the beauty of Vision OS, which the Pro established, is that it ensures consistency. Whether you have the most expensive device or the lightest glasses, the virtual paper still folds the same way.
That's the whole game. This unified strategy connects all the dots: the hardware comfort, the intuitive interface, the social collaboration. They are solving the three major consumer concerns all at once. The hardware has to be light, the interface has to be intuitive, and it all has to work socially across every price point.
This has been a really comprehensive deep dive. We've seen this clear shift from stiff goggles to potential spectacles. We've explored virtual paper, which lets us finally move past floating monitors, and we've detailed these holographic social spaces for real collaborative meetings.
The focus has just decisively shifted. It's about making spatial computing practical, persistent, moving it from a desktop replacement on your face to an always-on utility.
And if we look forward, since the future seems to be these lighter modular glasses focused on all-day wear, this raises a pretty important question for you, the listener, to think about. Because the success of this whole strategy relies so heavily on deep context awareness, your location, your biometrics via the watch. How will this unavoidable shift to always-on smart glasses fundamentally change the way we all think about privacy and data collection in our most personal spaces?
That's a spatial problem we will all be navigating very, very soon.